is different than micro, because micro deals with an individual specific thing, and macro deals with a larger perspective. A person will deal with his own family, and government will deal with his own country, and then you will have other bodies who will deal with the world. So we have to take it into very different perspective, why macro and micro are different than each other. And importance of macroeconomics in GDP. Macroeconomics, all the related factors of macroeconomics play a very important role in a country's growth. All the fundamentals and everything, once anything related to macroeconomics has a big say in GDP of a country. We can take about in pre-91 liberalization, how the economic policies of the country shaped up after liberalization that made India into a $3 trillion economy. So macroeconomic plays a very important role, especially the inflation part. How is the government policies? Those are very important sectors where macroeconomics shapes up a GDP of a country. GNP is gross national product. It is different from GDP from two perspectives. GDP is only within product of the goods and services produced within a country. GNP is the goods and services produced in someone's country, and the goods and services produced by its citizen outside others. So it is added up, and that is how you get gross national product. Gross national product is very important because it helps to get countries like India foreign exchange reserves, which is valuable to a country's growth. Because GNP and GDP are the basis of a country's growth. Without that, you cannot grow. So it is very important that we have to have both intact, both are there, and which helps the country to be stable, and it helps in their growth for a long term. Third is India's GDP. You look at pre-COVID India's GDP from last 2 years was ranging from 4% to 7%. I think for a country of our size, we require, now this year it has been said that by IMF or World Bank that India's GDP will be from 1 to 2%. So that is still very good, because others GDP will be in the negative. So, but taking into account the countries of size like India, when the COVID goes, we should be start growing at 8%, 9%, because the population of India requires a lot of jobs. So that is why the government has to take into cater India's GDP. Fourth, we talk about world's GDP. In world GDP, the number one share is America. It is a $21 trillion economy. Then, if in you say real sense, if America goes for 1% also, 2% also, its GDP expands. Then you have China. So these two countries majorly dominate. Then you have Japan and Germany, world GDP share. Then comes India at the fifth with the $3 trillion economy. So world GDP is still very much imbalanced between, there are two countries which run the world GDP, that is China and America. So that is very necessary. Once all the things get sorted, world GDP's money should be world GDP should be growing proportionately, so that every country in the world grows very equally and gets an equal share of the money. Can we have the next slide? Role of RBI. Role of RBI becomes very important in a country like India, where we have a lot of things to do, where we have to make sure that a country like India has a good RBI. So RBI was necessitated by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar in 1935, where British realized that why RBI is necessary. So that is where we got RBI, and that is how now central bank is known as RBI. Meaning of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Its headquarters are in Mumbai, Bandra. It is the pillar where Indian banking system is run. Name of the RBI governor, Shashikant Das. Shashikant Das is the new RBI governor. Previously, it was Urjit Patel. Previously, it was Dr. Raghuram Rajan. So India has had brilliant RBI governors, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Then we had who became a finance minister. So India has had very good RBI governors, which has led India to a good path of growth. Monetary policy. RBI is responsible for the monetary policy in the country. Monetary policy is basically the policy in which the liquidity infusion of central bank decides how much money should be there in a system and how much money should not be there. So right now you can look at that RBI has cut repo rate and reverse repo rate. It is lowest at a decades low at 3.75% reverse repo rate, reverse repo rate, then which helps the cash flow. RBI has infused a lot of liquidity into the system. Because of this, now we will have a lot of liquidity to do business. I think in the long term, 6 months, short term 6 months to 1 year, people who will face cash crunch will have a lot of benefit out of this. The other major thing that RBI does is control of inflation. This is one of the major aspects. If you see control of inflation, you can see period from 2009 onwards to 2012, inflation was very high. Because of that, RBI had to raise rates. That is why our rate of loans were around 12%, 14%. Since 2014, the inflation rate has come down. So that is why you can see since the time RBI has controlled inflation from 14 onwards to 20 onwards now, our home loans have also come down to 6, 7, 7%. So inflation plays a big part in a country like India. So RBI, major source of RBI is to control inflation also. An issue of currencies. During demonetization, when demonetization was done, RBI was responsible for taking back the old notes and issue of new currency. So whenever there is new issue of currency, RBI is the only sole agency in India who is responsible for the issue of currency. RBI has also to look into that matter that a lot of liquidity is in there so that there is not problem for people to do business in the long term. Can we have the next slide? So now the role of finance minister. So as we know that finance minister of India just announced a package, five video conferences which got just over today. So this is where we can come across the different things that are going on from a finance minister. Finance minister of India is Nirmala Sitharaman, first first lady to be finance minister of India. Hats off to her. The role of finance minister of India is to look at the fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit is the money that the government can spend according to the income that is had. So basic criteria of the government of India and the finance minister is to look at which are the sectors which is important to give money and which are the non-important sectors. So accordingly, now this year, as being in COVID, the government of India generally has a fiscal deficit around 3 to 4%. But because of this problem, we will be stretching our fiscal deficit to around 7% because of government's package, which is around 10% of India's GDP. That's a big thing. Right now, the aim of the government is to revive the economy. They can take a hit on the fiscal deficit, but being general terms, government has been very screwed on its fiscal deficit. It has never gone past 3%, which has helped India's rating also. Fiscal deficit is very important for a rating agency, which sees that how stable a country is. Import-export policy. Government of India, the finance ministry is very looks at how the export-import policy is driven. Which are the sectors that gives in the foreign exchange reserves? Yesterday only, our foreign exchange reserves went from $482 billion to 487. So India, from being a less 30 years back, having $2 billion of foreign exchange reserve, we are nearly across to $500 billion of foreign exchange reserve, which helps in importing of oil and all because India is India has a big importer of oil and technology. So we require a lot of foreign exchange reserves in the long run. Now, the benefit for India is that the prices of oil are so low that foreign exchange reserves will be with RBL for a longer time. So foreign exchange is a very important thing. Privatization and globalization. The privatization and the globalization policy of 91 has tremendously helped India to become a very good economic power. Being an economic power from now being a $3 trillion, slowly policies, they have realized where India can reach its heights. Privatization, companies which were not doing well because of the privatization, banks, different companies have helped India to become very much good companies. You look at banks like SBI, which are because of government bringing down its stakes, has helped the bank to run efficiently. There are different government sectors which have privatized. So Axis Bank is a classic example where government is a minority stake and we have a majority stakeholder of the private company players. So it is very important that government looks at the cases where they can privatize and make the efficiency and get a good money out of it. And third is globalization. India has held a very big impact because of globalization. IT sector, India's pharmaceutical sectors, India's textile industries, India's teaching industries, and India's you can say diamond industry because of globalization opened up, and India's financial institutes. A lot of Indian companies going abroad. A lot of companies are coming over here. People have got a lot of jobs. So a lot of Indians have progressed. Because of this, we have to look at finance ministry is also looking at these packages and they are trying to help to do ease of doing business. A lot of now structural reforms have come from the finance ministry also. We have the GST implemented 3 years ago. Then we have now different parameters how you can do business. Ease of doing business. India from 140 rank has come down to 60 rank onwards. Over 90 rank places India has jumped. So government is also focusing on ease of doing business because if we have one-stop solution for everything, investors want to come to India, and finance ministry is trying to look how they can make investors come to India. As we all know, we are in the COVID period. We are at lockdown and everything. See, this is a boon in a bane for India. 4-5 days, our Prime Minister had come, Sri Narendra Modi ji had come to announce a stimulus of 20 lakh crores, which is the third highest in any country. India has given 10% of his GDP to the people. The five press conferences was given by the by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. In that, the basic importance was given to MSME, 3 lakh crores. I think we have never seen such a kind of package in a lifetime for Indians. People were surprised how much package. People were somewhat saying 10 crore, 10 lakh crores, 12 lakh crores. I think this was beyond everyone that government will come in. That is why they are taking time. So we say now, slower the merry. If you say, oh, there's always a saying, if you go slow, everything goes well. So that is why government took its time. It took its time to see the lockdown of 3 phases, and then it came down with for the 4th phase, the economic package. The other thing, uh, promotion of, then the second question that we come into this is promotion of local goods. Government is making sure that they are trying to promote local goods. Prime Minister has said that Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in this now, government wants us to be self-sufficient. That we can see from our time that when we started with COVID in March, in Jan, the Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan says that we had only one hospital of COVID lab, one lab. Now we have over 600 laboratories, and now we have 7,000 hospitals for COVID patients. So that is how we have become self-sufficient in our time. And he also wants us to promote local goods so that there is always sufficiency, because India is such a big market. The consumers are so much. If we start buying our own goods, it will help us to become self-sufficient and make our own brands popular globally. That is, I think, what is government of India is trying to promote. And I urge all of you to start using more Indian goods so that money remains within our country, doesn't go out. And so it is a humble pleasure to everyone to just start using Indian goods. Third, we look at boycott of Chinese goods. So this is not offending against the Chinese goods, but looking at the current scenario, a lot of people are not happy with the Chinese government's response toward the COVID. So it is given that if we try avoid Chinese goods, because we know that it is very cheap, but when you look at a country like India, we have so much other goods. It was like in 2004 when railway minister at that time, Lalu Prasad Yadav started using tea in आप जो बोलते हैं ना मटकी के जो उससे बनते थे मिट्टी से, he started using that. Because of that, the again tea was served in that kind of cup. So because of that, if we start promoting our old heritage and all those, this will help us to become very much useful. So instead, I am not saying that if you want to buy Chinese goods, that's up to you. But I will request you should start using Indian goods, because it is our own people product, and the money will always remain in our own country. Can we have the next, please? Strategic partnerships. Government of India is having strategic partnerships with India, US, India, Europe, India, France. We have to have, you say any country cannot win this battle alone and come out of the recession. I think the bigger problem will be the recession. So currently every country is giving packages, and a lot of country will only come out with the help of each other. So strategic partnership becomes a very important, especially to counter China. So we have India having economic stimuluses, with US, UK, Europe, European Union, because this helps us to have different markets. Then India is trying to have a market with active policy towards different countries of Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. So that's also one market. So strategic partnerships have become part and parcel of today's diplomacy. And lastly, problems after COVID. The one problem I feel that people will face is the change of working culture. So you will have a lot of people working from home still, I think, from 3-4 months down the